Welcome to another AutoCAD tutorial. The fourth tutorial in this series works with circular features. So not just the circle command itself, but also commands like fillet, which make a circular feature from a couple of lines. Still not sure why my AutoCAD's doing this crazy line thing, but maybe that has to do with the resolution I've set for this video. Anyway, so this first panel is just giving the very briefest introduction to circle. So that is to say, if you want to draw a circle as defined by a center point and a radius, the command C is what you need to do. So C and spacebar. The panel asks if you would like to draw a circle within this bigger circle. So you might see that in order to get this snap point to appear there, it's not, if I start say in the middle, I can't find that snap point until I pass the cursor over the edge of the circle. That cues AutoCAD up to locate this snap point, and then I can draw a few circles in here, however many suits my fancy. That's the basic way to define a circle. But a circle can also be defined by two tangents and a radius. So in this example, once again I'll turn hints off. If I type C, you can see down in the command bar we've got 3-point circle, 2-point circle, TTR, which is to say tan radius circle, and that's the one I want. I want TTR. If I type that and hit space, that now changes the type of circle definition from center point and radius, as we had in the last example, to tangent and radius. So the radius of all these circles is 5. You don't have to go with 5, I suppose, and you can click anywhere on the lines. So if I say again C TTR, I'll pick any point along here for my tangent lines, and another 5 unit radius circle. Unfortunately, pressing spacebar, as you would with other commands, won't straight away get you back to tangent. You can press space to repeat circle, but then you'll also have to type TTR. That's fine. You don't have to try and pick the place where the circle is going to intersect when you're saying TTR. You can just pick anywhere on the line. So that looks pretty good. In this panel we're describing a circle by 2 points. So if you think about a circle as being defined along like a diameter line, you could almost say this line along here is all that is required to define a circle, where the circle is perpendicular, or its edge would be at maximum magnification, perpendicular to this one line drawn along its diameter. To do that, we type C for circle and then 2P. And now we can define this circle, so I can just drag this one out here between those 2 points to make this lolly looking shape, and another C2P. If we've got midpoint tracking on, midpoint tracking is this little triangle, by the way, and end point comes up as a square. So if I track to this midpoint and down to there, it's a circle in the middle of that box. And then lastly, this one's a little bit trickier. We need object snap tracking turned on. So I can mouse over this snap point and then drag down. I can drag the snap point vertically or horizontally. But I'm going to drag it down until it intersects there. And oops, forgot to start 2P. Drag it down until it starts there, and then down to that point. So those are a few ways that we can describe a circle by 2 points. So in the last example, the 2-point circle was along a diameter line. You can also define a circle by any 3 points along its outside edges. So in this case, we can use these 3 points here to define a circle, and it's 3P in this case. So we start with C, move on to 3P for the 3-point definition of a circle. In this case, tried to use this example to show that there might be more than more than 3 ways to define the circle, more than one way to define the circle. You can pick any one of these points to define it, and it will still come up as the same outside edge. But yeah, that's just the 3-point definition of a circle. What have we got next? 3 tangents. Now this one does require the ribbon to be open. So mentioned here, you've got a picture that explains or shows that you need to be on the Home tab, and the drawing tools are on the Home tab. So I'll open my ribbon, and the drawing tab might not be in the same place as it is in this diagram. It just depends on which version of CAD you're running, whether you're running a civil specific CAD or a whatever. But you can drop down the circle tool, select tan for 3 tangents to define a circle. It's kind of like defining it at 3 points, except you use lines instead of points to define. And now I need to pick my 3 tangents. So for this triangle, I can have a circle inside the triangle there. You can almost click anywhere. So this is the prescribed example, is to get the circles inside there. But if I click on the outside edge of these 3 circles, then I put a bigger circle around there, like that. And again, I've got to keep clicking. I can't use any CTTT, doesn't work. You have to keep clicking up here on the ribbon. And we can go to the inside part of a circle. We can do whatever we like. Anything that is a line of some description can be used as a tangent. Okay, we don't need the ribbon anymore, so I'm going to close it off so I've got more room. Fillet. Fillet is another handy command. What we've got in this case is the fillet command is started with F, and then we need to set a radius. If you look down in the command line, you can see that by default this radius here is set to 0.00, etc. We can change the radius with R, and we can then set a fillet radius of whatever we like. I might say 23 units, point some other number, and clicking the 2 lines that we want to fillet will fillet the circle like so. If I thought, oh, that's too small a fillet, I want to make a bigger fillet here, I could change my radius to 25 and click the 2 lines again to get a slightly different radius, and you'll have this little gap in here between the old fillet and the new one. Get rid of that. I couldn't say change it to a smaller radius. That wouldn't work because the lines, I'll get an error when oh no, I can do that. Huh. Oh, you learn something new every day. Well, there you go. So even if you've got points that haven't reached a close yet, but will at some other, or will at some eventuality if they ran on forever, then you can use fillet for that. Oh, that's cool. Alrighty. So these next couple of panels are just some example fillets. So here we're filleting to a radius of 5 units. And we're repeating commands with spacebar and no command as we've done in the past. So last command was fillet, spacebar again, click, click, spacebar again, click, click. That's that one done. Similar sort of thing here, except that we've got a bigger fillet radius in between. So I can click these, fill it around like that. Now I can change the radius to 10 to do the inside. Click, click, and click, like so. You can fillet circles as well, which you might not have realized. So this panel says we need 7.5 units as a fillet radius. The reason these circles are all broken up here, because if they weren't, you'd end up with a lot of the circle, either I think it stays where it is, or because the fillet they've got this extra piece of material down here, but when I fillet it, it gets removed. If the circles were whole, there's some issue with that. I can't remember exactly what it does, but there's a reason that I've done that there. And lastly, we've got a 3-dimensional object that we can fillet. So we can fillet this little box. Following the steps here, we're basically just saying fillet, and 3D objects don't work the same as the other ones. We first click an edge to sort of tell CAD, okay, we're talking about 3D here. Then I can set my fillet radius to 2.5 and click the edges that I want to fillet. So I've got that sort of thing going on. Well, that's pretty much all there is for fillet. Once again, hope you've enjoyed the tutorial, and pay attention to YouTube for any more videos to come. See you next time.